to the Tojo Fitness Podcast.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is your first Tojo podcast of 2021. It's going to be quite a significant one, packed with keys on how to make changes in our life.
And we need some changes. Let's face it, last year was pretty pants for most of us. We're hoping for a new year that's a bit different this year, aren't we?
Yeah, whilst it hasn't got off to the best of starts, we are in another lockdown. However, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
And although there's a lot of things you can't change about 2021, stuff that's imposed upon us, most of the important things we can change. We're in command in that sense. And so today we want to talk about how to change your life. And one of the things we all do, most of us at least anyway, at this time of year, is make New Year's resolutions. What are yours, Joe?
Yeah, so I hear kind of yays and nays on the New Year's resolution front. I'm one that I do like to have a goal to set myself to. And for this year, I would like to compete in July.
In a bodybuilding competition. Not sure how that's going to work out right now, but I'm not going to give up on it just yet. I'm still going to work towards it, even though it's at home. I'm coming into my 4th year of remission this year. Mm-hmm. So I've only got a couple more, 1 year left after this one of remission. So I want to keep my body building up on the immune system front. Yep.
I want to kind of, stay at peace. I want to adventure. So I've spent a lot of time this year within 4 walls, and I really feel that I want to kind of experience the world a little bit as well.
And that was always one of the goals of Tojo, is that we would go on the road.
Yeah.
And of course we've been locked down for so long now, but so that's something we want to do this coming year, is go on the road, do some adventure tours and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of mine is I want to diarise more accurately, because my diary...
Shocking.
Yes, it is. It's not very good. Not very good. I'm trying to gain 10 pound of extra muscle this year whilst maintaining no more than 10% body fat. So that's a 10-10, I think.
Yeah.
We're trying to increase our income by 20% this year.
Yeah.
Partly
nice.
to fund us being able to go on the road a little bit more.
Yeah.
So on these how to change your life, you've got to decide what needs changing first of all.
Yeah. There are different levels when you look at it as well. So, we have the level of physical, which is your body. We have the level of the mind, which is obviously how you feel, how you look at yourself. And then we have the level of the spirit as well.
Sure.
So all those three are actually for development.
Yeah, and learning how to speak properly is a great one as well.
It is, I need to add that
Enunciation, darling, enunciation.
Enunciate.
So how do we actually change? How do people change? Because we all have these ideas, and yet very often we find by the time we get to March, we haven't actually...
We've lost motivation.
Yeah, we haven't changed our lives.
Yeah.
And Tojo Fitness we're in the business of helping people bring about life change. In actual fact, we've spent all of our life in various different formats helping people achieve life change. So we've got an awful lot of experience on this. Yeah. And there's a model of how people change that we found is really, really helpful. And it's called the trans-theoretical stages of change, but just call it how people change. And understanding...
The psychology of it.
Yeah, how you change and why you hit hiccups is a really, really helpful thing. So let's take something like, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds of fat. Yeah. That's my goal this year, to lose 10 pounds of fat. Now, what happens first of all? What's the first stage of change?
So, first stage of change is what's called the pre-contemplation stage. Pre-contemplation is that you're kind of thinking about it. You contemplate it. To contemplate is to something that you think over.
It's what happens just before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually... There's no awareness of a problem when you're pre-contemplation.
Pre-contemplation, no awareness.
Yeah, no awareness. You're just going ahead. So you may be eating all the McDonald's. You may have no mirrors in your house. You may have no awareness of what high cholesterol is doing to you. You may have high blood pressure. You haven't had your blood pressure taken for years. And folks, you need to be taking your blood pressure. Everybody should take their blood pressure regularly. Mm-hmm. But you might not be doing that. You might not be having blood works done. You might not be having checkups at the doctor. Men, you may not be having your prostate checks done. If you're over 40, you need to be having that sort of stuff done. Your pre-contemplation. There's no reason for you to change because you can't see a problem.
Here's the thing, is that when you go down that line, your body kind of gives you a reason to become aware of a problem.
Yeah.
And usually that's by way of a health scare.
Some sort of crisis happens.
Yeah.
Or even in a relationship. You've got a relationship with your husband or wife, and it's bubbling
or boyfriend
along.
And girlfriend.
Yeah. And you think this is going great, the relationship's going good, everything's fine, and then one day she blows up at you, or one day he goes totally cranky, and you think, well, what's going on here? And you see there have been some things which have been going wrong perhaps,
Under the surface.
And you hadn't realised it, and so you're in pre-contemplation and crisis happens. And you realise when she screams at you and says, you don't bring me flowers anymore, or whatever it is for girls, he goes, oh yeah, I haven't done that for a long time, have I? And so pre-contemplation moves to contemplation. Now you're starting to think. So, you lift something heavy in the gym and you get a nosebleed and you think, what's going on here? So you take your blood pressure and you find your blood pressure is, 160 over 100 and you think, I've got high blood pressure, I've got hypertension. Yeah. Pre-contemplation, no awareness, you've hit a crisis. You've been bubbling along throughout the last year and you think your finances are fine, and then you get your credit card bill now.
Or your tax bill.
Yeah.
Thank you, HMRC.
Oh, we love HMRC this time of year. Pre-contemplation has hit the reality of contemplation by way of crisis. There's a crisis, something's happened, and we do everything we can to avoid crisis. But crisis is the key to change.
Yeah.
There has to come a crisis. There has to come a reason that's strong enough. And nature, God's built it this way that it'll give you little prods about things, and then suddenly it will give you a big whack around the chops, which is nature's way of saying, wake up.
Wake up call.
And that's not something to be afraid about. That's just a way of saying, okay, the fire alarm is going on. I need to get up and put some water on the fire before it burns the house down.
Yeah, that's right. So we're coming into the contemplation stage now.
Stage 2.
Stage 2. Which means you're actually aware of the problem. And here's a real a sentence that I hear a lot is, I know what I've got to do, but I've just got no motivation to do it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how to. I know what I've got to do, but it's just getting there.
And then everybody who's listening to this is in at least stage 2.
Yeah.
Because if you're in pre-contemplation, you're probably not, unless you've accidentally tuned into this channel because you were looking for...
Welcome!
Looking for something else, but you're here. But most people are at least in contemplation. There's an awareness of a problem, but no action has been taken yet. So you're just aware. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you hate what you look like.
Yeah.
You're aware that you've got high blood pressure.
Perhaps you're feeling anxious and you know that meditation's a good way.
Yep.
But you're just not, you haven't really gone there yet.
You're a bloke and you're getting up 5 times in the middle of the night to have a wee, and you really know you really should go to the doctor and get your prostate checked out, but you don't because you're worried that if you go, you may have prostate cancer. Incidentally, most people who go to the doctors and get their prostate checked, guys, and because you're getting up in the middle of the night to have a wee, it's nothing to worry about. It's just getting older. But you need to go and get it checked out nevertheless.
Yeah. Same with you girls. If you I'll always kind of champion this. If you feel any lumps in your boobs as well, you've got to go.
Yeah.
You've got to go. We all get really, really scared of this, but actually, when you look fear in the face, it's not as scary as what you think it is.
I'm a big believer that guys have a role to play here. Guys, check your girls' boobs. They need checking sometimes.
That's actually how we discovered I had a lump.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true, yeah. Anyway, moving on. If you haven't got somebody, let's not go there. No. So we're in contemplation now. We're aware of a problem.
Yeah.
And but no action is taken yet.
Next stage.
Preparation.
I'm
going to start doing something about this. Start thinking about it. So I'm doing some research. I go on the internet and I find Tojo Fitness,
yes,
who are specialists in whatever I need. And I say, oh yeah, Tojo Fitness, they're okay. They've got some good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Or I start researching why I'm getting up in the middle of the night to have a wee.
Yep.
Or I start researching about the lump I found in my boob.
Mm-hmm.
Or I start, whatever it is. And it might not be something like that. It might simply be, you're going, okay, my finances, I've got this big bill. Why is that? So I'm now looking at my bank statements, going back through them, and that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
To find out why it is that I'm in the red. This is preparation. You're
kind of facing it.
Yeah.
Like you're actually starting to look in the mirror at this particular thing. Say, if you're wanting to lose weight, you're starting to do the research of, well, what are healthy meals?
Yeah, what do I need to do here?
Yeah.
It might be that you sign up and join a gym.
Might be that you sign up and join the Tojo online programming for £30 a month, £1 a day.
Yeah, and that's something every person in the world should do.
The price of a takeaway, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed it is. Less than the price. It's the price of a packet of crisps every day.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It is. Now they're big grab bags.
Moving on from there, so signing up, joining the gym, is preparation. You haven't actually done anything which is actually going to change your life yet.
Yeah.
But you're making the right moves. You've gone out and you've decided to join the gym. So you've gone out, at least in the days when we used to go to shops, you've gone out and you've bought a shed load of spandex to wear.
Yeah, all the new gym clothes are coming out, right?
That's it.
So we're going to come into the fourth stage now, which is the action stage. There's a big leap from preparation to action. There's a massive leap from looking at the program that you've been assigned to do, perhaps on the Tojo program, and actually popping your trainers on and completing one. It's a massive step.
And this is where most people fall down, because you buy the kit. How many times have you bought the kit for something but never done it? You bought all the camping gear, but you haven't gone camping.
You.
Yeah, that is me.
That is you. You bought all the Bear Grylls stuff.
Oh man,
it's in someone else's loft.
I've got all the camping gear.
You do, and you don't like camping.
No, I like the gear. The gear's so cool though. You bought all.
They saw you coming.
It's nice. If anything ever happens and we have to run for the hills, I got the kit.
Yeah, we've got the Bear Grylls.
Okay, we're prepped.
Yeah. Anyway, action. Starting. Actually making a start. Actually popping that first foot down on the floor to make a start on this change. It might be that you have to book yourself a doctor's appointment. It might be that you need to cut up your credit card.
Yeah.
To stop spending. It might be that you now empty your cupboards into the bin of every sugary biscuit, crisps, alcohol.
Yeah, so you've done your preparation. In preparation, you now know what you shouldn't have in your cupboards and what you should.
Yeah.
In action, you ditch the stuff you shouldn't have and you go and buy the stuff you should have.
Yeah.
So that's action. It might be you take your first PT session.
Yeah. That's really fun, actually. I love it. I love introducing people to this kind of thing, because you're like, actually, you're going to enjoy it so much more than what you think you are, and you're going to feel alive. Yeah.
The change is the hardest thing, but making the change, once you made that change, you start. So, for instance, now I'm starting to find my metabolism has slowed down a lot from the summer. So I'm putting on weight a little bit quicker. I don't need so many calories. And so I said to you, didn't I, that I was going to start going out and doing a little run just to get my metabolism back up again. Yeah. And she said to me this morning, she said, are you going to go out for your run? I said, well, it's raining this morning.
And he's like, yeah, but we'll leave it till April. So, he needs to put his trainers on and get out the door.
So I'm in preparation stage with the running thing. But in the next few days, action will start.
Action.
And I'll move from this stage 3 to stage 4.
Yeah.
Maybe you start prepping healthy meals.
Yeah.
Now.
So my prep for my competition in July starts mid-February. I'm in my preparation stage now. I've done the result. I've done the research. I've got myself a coach lined up. So I'm going to be guided through it as well.
Yeah.
And so I know middle of February, that's when my action starts.
And this is something we're going to talk about in a moment about coaching. So let's just put that on the shelf there, because I want to come back and ask you some questions about that.
Okay, so moving on from action. Number 5, maintenance. We know that only through repetition is a habit formed.
Oh, that's good. Say that again.
Only through repetition is a habit formed.
Only through repetition is a habit formed.
So all the habits that you have in your life now, it has meant that you have repeated them time and time and time again, enough for them to almost disappear into your subconscious. You don't need to think about it, like driving.
Cleaning your teeth.
Hopefully. Kids, clean your teeth.
Having a shower.
Yeah, having a shower. Eating.
Changing your underwear.
Yes, please. So all those things that you've done, you've repeated and repeated and repeated until such time as they become a part of you.
You don't have to think about them.
No. And that's what a change in your life does. Eventually, no matter how hard that change is, whether it's healthy eating, the more you do it, the more you're an adaptable being. So whatever you throw at your body, it will adapt to eventually. It will take about 2 to 3 weeks to actually start seeing any change in your body actually accepting what you're doing. But it will come.
Yeah, the more you do something, the easier it becomes as well.
Yeah.
The less hassle it is. So we eat pretty much healthy, pretty much all the time. It's not a hassle. But occasionally we'll say, Flip, we're going to have a cheat night tonight and we'll order in Domino's. Doesn't happen very often, but when we do it, we don't feel we need to keep doing it because Domino's isn't the habit. The habit is eating healthy.
Yeah.
The habit of, so maybe one of your goals is to start eating breakfast. And so you've got to keep doing that, and healthy breakfast, until it becomes a habit.
Yeah. Yeah, some people, unfortunately, they find breakfast in the morning. I used to do this as well. I used to feel I was going to be sick. But when you keep on doing it, your body adapts.
Yeah, I remember that. You never eat breakfast.
I hated breakfast. Yeah, I felt like it was too early in the morning. I thought I was going to throw up.
Yeah.
Now, as long as I've had a bit of time to wake up in the morning, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it just takes a bit of time. These things take time, and everything starts with a foot in the right direction.
So building these habits is this 5th stage, maintenance, but it's just keep doing it. But equally, that can work the other way around. So it doesn't take very long for bad habits to become part of. So we can change our life the other way. You remember on that the old Gladiators program on telly?
Gladiators,
what was the last thing they had to do? They had to
the Travelator.
The Travelator.
Oh my gosh.
And it was this escalator kind of thing, which was, and if you stopped, it just brought you back down to the bottom again.
Yeah.
So you had to run up it really, really hard and fast. But as soon as you slowed down, you started losing ground.
Yeah.
And that's what, particularly as we're getting older, that's what keeping a healthy body is like. As soon as you stop, you start going backwards. It's easier for your body to revert to being couch potato than it is to stay as an athlete.
Yeah, it is.
And the older you get, the more you have to apply yourself. So getting these healthy habits in now, when you're younger, is so important because they're easier to keep as you get older. Very, very hard to change somebody who's spent 20 years as a couch potato. It's doable, but it's very, very hard to do because of this principle of the Travelator principle, I call it.
Yeah, totally.
So bringing lifestyle change. And after about 6 months in maintenance, and it takes about 6 months before you move on to this final stage, which is, and the final stage is you're just carrying on now. You're just boom, 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 boom. Everything's chugging away. You're fine. Yeah. You've achieved lifestyle change. So if you're making some changes now, by the time you reach the summer, you will have changed your life. You won't have changed just some actions.
Yeah.
You want to just change some activities and some of the things you do. You will have actually changed you.
Yeah.
You will be
You won't be the same
people.
person. You'll look back now from the summer and you won't be the same person.
Now, there is a 6th level, which is that level which we call relapse.
Yeah.
And it can happen at any time during these 5 stages. And more often than not happens during maintenance stage. At some point, something happens, some crisis, and you relapse and you fall back into your old habits.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most dangerous moments.
But let's be real, it does happen. But it is possible for you to start on that life-changing process again.
And what's good is you don't have to go back to step one.
No.
You actually just
go
jump
back
back
to action.
on. Yeah, you just jump back in.
Yeah.
But the longer you stay off, remember the travelator?
Yeah.
The
more harder it's going to be.
The more your relapse comes
yeah.
back. So we all let it go a bit over Christmas, right?
Yeah.
We all put a bit of holiday weight on. That's fine. It's fun. We actually want to enjoy our Christmas. So you say, okay, I'm going to put on a couple of extra pounds. January, you say, right, now I'm going to deal with this so that I don't have the whole travelator to run up again.
Toes.
So we want to talk about ideas of how to maintain change. And this is really important because if we're changing our life, if we know these stages of change that every one of us goes through, just some practical hacks as to how to maintain change. And you said it right at the beginning. You talked about getting a clear vision and knowing exactly what your goals are.
Yeah. So with, like, when I said one of my visions was, or my goals, is that really to keep my body healthy because of 4 year in remission.
Yeah.
Is that because I know the side effect for not keeping my body in a healthy position, which is the potential that the cancer could come back, is that I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
And so almost like there's that knowledge is power in that respect. That knowledge gives you power to continue to make those changes. And so I'm just not prepared, even though everything within me screams opposite. I'm just not going to listen to the voice because I know what the end result is if I don't keep my body healthy.
So having a clear view.
Yeah.
Absolutely clear view. And to see the more accurately and tangibly you can see what your goals are, the easier this is going to be.
Yeah.
So if you can see, like you're doing this bodybuilding competition, if you can see yourself on the stage, if you can imagine it, if you can see what it's like to go through the mandatory poses, to do the whole thing, then you're more likely to achieve that. If it's just a kind of airy-fairy idea, it's probably not going to happen. So you've got to be able to see it, smell it, touch it, taste it.
Think about it all the time.
Yeah. Keep it in your mind. This is, I mean, let's face it, this is how nature gets guys and girls together, because when they turn about 14, 15, 16, all they think about is the opposite sex. And that happens for the next 10 years or so. Some after of them that. Do.
People, they've changed these days.
I don't know. But all you start thinking about is boyfriends, girlfriends, and then, you get sex crazy. And it's nature's way of keeping you focused on the most important thing, which, as far as nature's concerned, is reproducing yourself. And it keeps you focused on that. And that's why it happens. Yeah. So you have to get a clear vision of what your goals...
End game
is. Yeah. And, I think I want to talk about this a little bit more because some of these other things I think we're going to push on to the next...
Okay, yeah.
Onto next week. And if you can hear that, that's actually our fire alarm going off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our fire alarm. We are going to remain in the building. If you don't hear from us within the next half an hour, please come and rescue us.
Don't worry, it will go off presently.
Yes,
and
we're
it's
just going to
test.
Continue talking.
As though it's not happening.
Yes, absolutely. So, clear goal. What is your end game?
Yeah. What is your desire? How much do you desire it? How much do you want it?
Here's what I say to some of my clients, right? So if they're squatting or they're doing lunges and one of their goals is to tone their legs up. Yeah. I'm like, picture the legs you want and squat towards it.
Oh, that's good.
Picture the tummy you want and crunch towards it. Picture their inner life peace you want and meditate towards it. So everything you do is actually acting towards your end game.
That's really good. You see, if you're doing bench press, imagine your chest the way you want it to be.
Guys.
Yeah, guys. Imagine those pec muscles as great armour plating across your chest. And they're not Pee Wee Herman little, you imagine what you want. When you're doing bicep curls, imagine those biceps.
Imagine the arms you want.
Filling the room. Arnold, they said about him, they said, how do you imagine your arms when you're doing bicep curls? And he said, I imagine my biceps are filling the entire room.
Wow.
Now, it's crazy, but it produces this strong mind-muscle link.
Yeah.
But a strong link like that will help stop you spending money.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, because it keeps you like, it's almost like tunnel vision on what you're wanting. And that, again, that can be applied across like body, mind and spirit on that, you know.
Yeah.
There's no limits really to what your end game is going to be, because it's like, it's different for everyone. But if you're passionate about it, you'll achieve it. Look at those people who are in Team GB.
Yeah.
The people who are like the elite athletes. They've all gone through the exact stages of change that we've spoken about today. Yeah. But has been so passionate and so almost like a dog with a bone about it that nothing else matters. That's one thing I press towards the goal.
We've got a friend who's a Team GB triathlete, and when you watch him train, it's insane. He gets on that bike, and there's literally a puddle of water around his static bike. It's awful. It's just like a moat around. The whole thing is dripping. And I'll sometimes go up to him and talk to him and say, Matt, this is insane. But he counts it as pleasure because he has such a clear vision of his goal.
Yeah, totally.
So what do you want to change? We're going to sort of bring this to an end now because the fire alarm is still going off and hasn't stopped.
We might have to get out of the building, so we're going to wrap up this podcast.
I think so.
You're never going to have another podcast like this one.
So what do you want to change in your life? What is your goal? Can you visualize it as a clear goal? And then if you can, you need to start moving through these stages of change. You're not in pre-contemplation, as you can already see it. Maybe you've had a crisis over the Christmas period and now you're changing your life. Yeah. Contemplation, you're aware of the problem, but no action's taken. Are you in preparation? You're researching, you're buying the kits, you're signing up. Thank you for all the people who have signed up to the Tojo plan over this beginning of this year. But the action plan starts right now, and that's the fourth stage, action. Maybe you're in maintenance and there's lifestyle changes starting to dig in, it's starting to grab hold. Stick with it as the new habits are formed, and perhaps at the end of last year you relapsed into bad habits. Well, dig yourself up, get yourself back up and start running again. Yeah. Everybody falls over, but every champion gets up off the mat and starts running again.
Oh yeah. This has been Tojo Fitness Podcast. We are going to evacuate our building now. And we will be back for Head in the Game Mondays for those who are part of the Tojo tribe. And if not, we'll be back next Thursday. And we love you loads.
Yeah, you take care and God bless you.
Bye.
Bye now.